Hello everyone, we're back after dinner. Tacos have been nom-nommed. What were we doing? Oh yeah, round of turnips. Got it. Ha 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 ha. So easy to forget after tacos.
Something like that.
You hopping on?
Maybe.
There we go. First up, we need to go talk to Mr. LeVar Burton over here about a book.
You've returned, and without the books with which you departed. I assume that to mean they were delivered to the right hands. Thank you. As I mentioned before, we bibliotheques keep to the wings of history's stage, and take a fierce stand against any sort of involvement. We've a sworn duty to observe all which transpires, even as the world unravels before our very eyes. So dedicated are we to our goal that there is no realm in which we are not present. I too was once stationed abroad, in the Far East actually. It's where I caught wind of the students of Baldessian, learned how they had become a symbol of hope for those fearing the final days. Silvestre tells us that knowledge is a gift, one that cannot be bestowed upon just anyone. It is only the worthy who ought wield the strength it provides. And I believe the students of Baldessian worthy. If there is any justice left in this world, then that which our pens and papers have locked away is theirs by rights. Thank you for helping me put the fruits of our labor to good use.
You are welcome.
Coconut cod chowder. Congrats. A Near Eastern soup brimming with shallows cod simmered in silky coconut milk.
So, what'd I get? Looks like I got a new trait. Enhanced Shield Samba. Shield Samba recast time down to 90 seconds.
Okay.
Shield Samba! Not to be confused with my, Curing Waltz. Okay, next quest. Hello, Octi. Welcome, welcome.
Mm-hmm. And the sun has come up.
Yes, it has. Quite dramatically, too.
It does that. Not quite as dramatic as, say, Ul'dah.
Hello, Wandering Loppert. Time to munch on these apples. They look delicious, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Apples. Oh my, they don't just look delicious, they are delicious. They might even be better than carrots. If you've got the right cultivar, probably. I thought this place would be just like Mare Lametorum, ever since it's all artificial, but I'm glad I was wrong. I was wrong about a lot, even after everything Orange told me to expect, and I learned so much more at my job. I think I want to try another. Oh, before I forget, here's your share of the payment, and thank you for all your help. Are you going to have a follow-up? Nope, you're off. That's probably for the best.
Preaching heresy.
What's this?
That Lola
Preaching
Prophet is
heresy.
preaching heresy.
Something better
There
than
is
carrots.
nothing better than carrots.
We're gonna wait on you, Studium Researcher.
I have this nailed down.
Scatene.
Yes. It's good, Tene.
Familiar Whisperer. Oh, you're the one who's come about the eye drops, yes? I heard all about today's little exercise from Endwalker. Called me via link pearl, you see. I told this bird was about to transpire, but she seems a bit on her guard. You might best calm her down yourself. If you pet her gently, that ought to unruffle her feathers, figuratively and literally.
To
Aww.
unruffle his feathers.
We get to pet the Skatene.
Okay. No chirping. The Skatene on guard duty eyes you warily. Perhaps you should pet her before she gets peckish.
Oh dear.
The vigilant Skatene continues her unwavering stare. Now there is a great deal less anxiety in her eyes than before. That makes one of us.
I think our friend has realized that you're no threat at all. Go on then. She's ready for the eye drops whenever you are ready.
Skatene eye drops, concocted to soothe the Skatene's unblinking eyes, which can get terribly dry from glaring menacingly at passerby.
The Skatene watches you closely. Now is your chance to administer the eye drops. Why, she looks about it ready to snuggle up to you, I'd say. Skatenes have a mind like a steel trap, and they don't forget the face easily. So it's no problem if you were to walk past in completely different clothes. Take more than a costume change to fool them, after all. If you don't mind me asking, you're friends with a dragoon, right? Surely looking a leasoned fellow, as I remember. I'm afraid the Skatene didn't take kindly to him. Damn near pecked out his eyes. This poor bird almost got a lance in her gullet for it. That would be a
Can't
sin.
imagine.
Luckily for your companion, stopped himself when he did. But that doesn't mean the Skatene is going to let bygones be bygones anytime soon. Let me tell you. A bit of advice. You have to watch himself if he's walking through these paths. In any case, your work is done here. The Skatene had her treatment, so go in and tell Anaja as much. Good luck out there. Oh, and should you happen to see another Skatene while you're about, give them a wave, alright? I can't tell you how many times I've died to a freaking Skatene.
Yeah.
Oh, we were at a quest that we were going to do since we went higher. Oh well, we'll get to that in a minute. We're just gonna take a little longer. Hehe. It's easy to get sidetracked with side quests. Ah, you've returned. Very good. Judging by your lack of scratch marks, you were successfully in completing your task. No doubt the Skatene now know to treat you as a friend rather than a foe. Skatenes do not stay long in any given location, but rather fly through labyrinthos, moving from perch to perch. Should you happen to see one, count yourself fortunate. That could be a rare sight. Though you may think of them difficult to spot, trust that they are among us, and they are watching, always, ensuring that the knowledge we've acquired to keep it from falling into the hands of those who would use it for nefarious ends. If you say so. I'd rather have a Skatene not attack me than attack me, so I guess all is well, but... Now to go back for that one quest, which we bypassed even though we were at its doorstep.
Yeah, well.
No one's perfect.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay.
After all, perfection is the end of society as we know it.
Yes.
I think Estinian is still trying to figure out his place in a society that isn't constant warfare. And until he figures that out, he's going to amble around a lot. But I'm actually glad he joined the Sans. I think this is a good place for him to be, to put his
Oh,
skills
yes.
to use. Mandragora.
Yeah, I think he would prefer to be working with Tataru.
Yeah, there is a bit there. Tataru and Kryl, between the two of them, there's no force in the universe that can stop them.
Yeah, pretty much.
It'll be nice when we can finally fly here. Oh, we've been doing all these side questing, guess what we keep forgetting to do?
Yeah, I was thinking about it early on and then forgot.
Our own dang fault.
Pretty much.
I've got a feeling us befriending Vitra is gonna help Estinian a lot too.
Oh, yes.
He's now sees dragons more as friends than foes. And that's a hard thing to put behind when you've been living that long in that sort of mental state. Yo, your mom sent us.
Hold a moment. I know you. Yeah, you're Thayrin and Rylea, the famous adventurers, are you not? Do I owe the honor?
Your mom, actually.
Oh, my mother is busy, you say? That is most disheartening to hear. I wanted to tell her in person that she's now a grandmother newly made. My wife has born us a healthy baby.
That is actually good news. Congratulations.
I'd written to share news that we were expecting, but not that she'd given birth. I had hoped to see the look on my mother's face when I told her the happy event.
I'm sorry.
It's quite alright. No, honestly, it is. She works tirelessly for the good of all. I can hardly blame her for being unable to come running at a moment's notice. Makes me proud, in fact, to think she is so important she cannot even spare a moment to see me. Hopefully she can spare a moment for this, though. Will you give of this portrait to her? It's of me, my wife, and her newborn. Her grandchild.
I think she'll adore it.
Now then, I must be off. There's work to be done, and I'm sure my mother would be proud to know her son is following in her hard-working footsteps.
You go, dude. And off he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was news she probably would have wanted to see straight in the face, but... Too bad we just can't, like, jump off the side here. They won't let us. No, we have to have flying. What's up, my outside voice?
Maybe.
Sure it wasn't
Who wants to
Urza's
know?
voice? Look out! Stray tomato! Oh no! Which apparently makes very good eye wash? I don't understand that one.
Not going to ask.
Yeah, I never thought my salad would try and eat me.
Yeah, well.
Oh, there's
Life
definitely
is full of
some moving
surprises.
salad. No, stay away from me. You three, stay far away. That's right. Go that way. I'm going this way. Some of the critters around here.
Some, you say.
Remember, it's all the ancients' fault.
Sure is.
Didn't help that you gave him suggestions.
I know. I'm sorry. All of the world in Heidelin, I am sorry for the behemoths.
Oh, no. That one's fine. Mostly.
And the Nixes.
Yeah, well.
Actually, while we're
The
here.
Morbles are totally not our fault.
We absolutely refuse to admit we had anything to do with that.
Remembering to use the lotion next time, kitten.
He wouldn't let me!
Hey, don't feel bad. I made the same mistake.
So I was the only one who actually did use the potion, you're saying?
Pretty much.
Oy. Well, congratulations, Mrs. Researcher. What fortuitous timing. I only just arrived myself. So what news for my son? What was he so eager to give me?
Family portrait. A skillfully painted portrait of a smiling man and wife cradling their newborn babe. Perfect for grandmothers.
Is this... Oh goodness. It is, isn't it? It's the portrait of his family that includes my grandchild. Oh, Chuberic and darling. There's no baby more beautiful in the world. This has put a fire under me, I dare say. If I hadn't reason enough before, then surely this child will keep me motivated to continue my research. I will make sure this little bundle of joy has a world in which they can grow up to be happy and hale. You've made me happier than you could possibly know. Thank you, truly. It isn't much, I grant you, but here, something for your pains. It wasn't a pain at all. So, the 2 blues, or the Go Find Me quest?
Let's get the blues. The Go Find Me scares me.
But it's a stray carbuncle.
This is also true.
Musselfrat. Musselfray?
Yeah. The lad in Labyrinthos. Musselfray is awfully worried about something. Oh, what am I to do?
What are you to do?
Ah, you're those adventurers who helped out the students of Baldessian, aren't you? Suppose it matters not to you, but my son seems to have run away.
Oh dear, that's not good.
I thought only researchers lived here. Ah, yes. Simply put, my wife and I work at Aporia, and she happened to conceive whilst we were living here in Shirley and Hamlet.
Ah.
I assure you, we had many sleepless nights wondering if we should quit our jobs and leave Labyrinthos, or entrust the child to a friend of ours who dwells somewhere more suitable. Ultimately, we decided to continue our work whilst raising the child here. After all, our research is focused on the very future that our offspring will inhabit. The issue is, however, that the magic that prevents us from revealing anything confidential is too potent to be used on children. Uh-oh. Of course, we can't allow the little one to roam freely. There's no telling what he might impart onto others. So he has spent his entire life thus far within the confines of Shirley and Hamlet. We recently had a slight spat with him and, well, he decided to flee. I imagine me going after him would only make things worse. Could I ask you to talk to him in my stead? I'm sure he'd be much more willing to listen to anyone other than his parents at this point. Thank you. Verpalain, my boy, is most likely in the plaza to the east. Cannot imagine he struck out any further on his own.
Alright, kid. Where are ya? Have you seen the kid around here, Clemon? Ah, there he is. Hey, Verpalain.
Huh? Who are you?
Wait, come back! It's gonna be one of these merry chases, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
The manta ray is not helping.
Oh!
We still need to do that beast tribe. Just a reminder.
Wow.
No, no.
Kojin.
Yeah. There he is. No, we have not done the Kojin. That's the last beast tribe we need for Stormblood.
Oh, I was thinking of the special delivery down there. I am not going to go home so easily. You probably won't believe me either. I've noticed that all is not right in Labyrinthos. Why don't you try telling me first?
What do you think is wrong with Labyrinthos?
Elysian at this age, they're all neck. Fine, I shall tell you what I've seen. The color of the artificial light here changed recently.
Oh?
I'm sure most people haven't noticed, but when you've spent your whole life here, the difference is like night and day. Even so, no one will take me seriously when I bring it up, all because of my age. Got into a big fight with Father about it.
You need me to read it off?
Labyrinthos is in danger. Who knows what would happen if the artificial sun broke? That's why I can't go home just yet. I need to get to the bottom of this first. Although, I am scared to venture outside on my own. You see if there's countless monsters out there.
There are.
No, I'm pretty sure we can count them. I don't suppose you could come with me? I could pay you. It's not much, but I do get pocket money from my parents. You
You don't need to pay me. If you think
Your
there's something,
XP will be enough.
if you think there's something wrong with the sun, then we should check into it.
Also, the aether current will be enough.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were different from the rest, but now you're treating me like a child too. This is a proper deal, all right? Forgot to take my money for to make it binding.
Okay. If you say so.
Stoic nod. Then it's settled.
And this is going to be a chain.
Oh, yes. We hit side quest chain. So what are we up to?
We should be down to 1-2, I believe.
2 and 2. 2 more quests and 2 more.
This was the one of the quests.
Nope. I still show 2 more quests.
Oh, you're right.
Questing ones.
2 and 2. Okay then.
Yeah, we've been very slow to hit the questing ones. Here comes the sun. Doo-doo-doo-doo. For Pauline is chuffed that you're helping him. I'm ready to go if you are. Oh, I suppose I should tell you a bit about the artificial sun first. It's got an engine called a reactor that burns with fire ether. My theory is that the reactor has too much ether now, and that's what changed its color. Ergo, we should go to Phoebus. I know someone who works there helping to control the artificial sun. I'll bet he'll let us have a look around. It's in the medial circuit, so we should head for Logisticon Alpha first. Follow me so you don't get lost.
We do know where Logisticon Alpha is.
He's not listening. He's at the age where he thinks he knows better, and for navigating around here, well, actually he does know better. Maybe not so much for this specific thing, but in general, yeah.
We're not completely helpless.
Yeah, but he's going to know this place a lot better than us. We've been here, what, a month?
Eh.
Eh?
Eh?
Yes.
We went right by Logisticon Alpha, didn't we? Sorry.
See? Told you. He knows this place better than we do.
I keep thinking it's farther down the circuit than it is.
Told you, he knows the place better than we do. Don't usually let me into the medial circuit, but having you here changes everything. You ready to enter the medial circuit with Verpaw Lane? Yes. Hello again, Verpaw Lane. You and your friend are free to go through.
Thank you very much.
You have my thanks. It's so tiresome having your freedoms limited because of your age. Anyway, let's make our way to Phoebus.
He's worried about monsters, and yet he gleefully wanders off through Mandragora.
Maybe he's tone deaf?
I hope so.
He'd have to be a lot more than tone deaf.
The fact that we still have the pseudo tension go 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 music is not helping. For the zone music.
Sounds like Chocobo music to me.
You know, this music.
Yeah, well.
Phoebus Monitor.
Oh, hello. Are you here to have a look around? I must emphasize that touching the buttons within, however tempting, is not permitted.
I cannot touch the shiny red candy-like
button. He said I can go and have a look. Wait here. I'll let you know if I find anything. Now, they'll let him in, but they won't let us fools anywhere near the controls.
Probably for the best.
Well, you showed me the control panel, but there didn't seem to be anything wrong. The reactor's records didn't contain anything worth noting either. That's what you were worried about, eh? You do realize this place has been around as long as Labyrinthos, and we've never had a single problem. Nor have we been able to confirm this change in the light's hue you speak of. You certain you didn't just stare at the sun too long? We advise against that for a reason, you know. They can talk down to me all they want, but I know what I saw. There's nothing else wrong here, then it simply means the root of the problem lies elsewhere. Let's go.
Where to?
To the next quest.
Da, 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 da.
Fiery Thirst. For Pauline is deep in thought. Thank you for sticking around. It's nice to be believed, for once. Now that it's clear the problem doesn't lie here, we should move on. Let's take a look at the supply route the fire aspect of the Aether travels along, from the elemental reactor to the artificial sun. I learned a while ago that the sun automatically goes into overdrive to maintain its brightness if it gets less fire Aether than it needs. If that's what's happening, then there must be a problem with the reactor's Aether supply. To know for sure, we'll need to check the flow of the Aether to see if there are any spots where it's abnormally weak. To do that, though, we need an Aetherometer. Maybe we can borrow one from Mariel Agronomics. But then we won't have to go out of our way.
Well, it's worth a look. And it's not necessarily a bad theory in and of itself. Ah, looks like you found an Aetherometer.
Yep. See, I've hid them a lie about helping with some research, and they lent me an Aetherometer. Come on, let's see if we can pick up any abnormal readings. Just as I thought, concentration of fire Aether is too low. Good range on that thing. Seems to be weakest at an area south of here. Must be where the problem lies.
You can tell that just from the Aetherometer?
Yeah, sure. Well, when you've got a father who's an expert in aetherology and a mother who's a mathematician, you learn a thing or two. What's more, I was born and raised here. It'd be embarrassing if I didn't know it better than anyone else. Now, let's get to the bottom of this. Zoom!
for the most part, usually don't lie. The problem is they're not necessarily good at putting things in the correct words that they need. Oh no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. So you stay away from us. Ambulatory vegetables. Don't feel like making salad at the moment.
I've identified the problem. There's an Anala here. They're normally only found near the elemental reactor. Can't say for sure if it came here on purpose or simply got lost, but either way, it's clearly been feeding on fire-aspected aether. Most of the aether travels deep underground on its way from the reactor, but the supply route is close to the surface here. I imagine the Anala must be pretty powerful at this point. It's been here absorbing all of that aether. No doubt its core is full of it. If I can just get my hands on that core, I could use it to convince the adults that I was right all along. Do you think you can slay it for me?
That's what we do best.
Excuse me. Don't want to be part of that song.
Aww. So, have a core.
Nicely done. Can you show me the core?
Right here.
Anala core. A core brutally ripped out of an Anala.
Well, yeah. It's what we do.
Oh dear. I think we need to help that person.
I'm kind of stuck in...
Nope, same here.
They lived!
So this is what an abundance of aether can do to their cores. It's massive! Father and the others will have no choice but to believe me when they see this. And I guess he gave up on that fate.
Yeah.
The hero in Labyrinthos. Pauline is ready to prove he is in the right. Come on, let's waste no time showing this to Father. It's time he acknowledged that I'm right. So, this is where you've been hiding. Father, fancy meeting you here. I was just about to come home and tell you that I found the problem with the sun. You still harping on about that. You could have got yourself hurt pursuing this nonsense. And you. I told you to bring my son back to me, and instead you go off gallivanting with him.
He's right, you know.
Fine. Fine. I shall hear what you have to say. Oh my. Never seen a core like this in my life. See no reason to doubt your suggestion that it was feeding on the fire aspect of aether. So you finally admit I was right about the sun? Well, yes. However, that matters not now that I know how serious the situation is. What do you mean? Rylea has already slain the Anala. Surely everything will go back to normal now. I'm afraid not. If the artificial sun was under such strain for a prolonged period of time, it could be on the verge of combusting by now.
Uh-oh.
We'll need to cool it post-haste, unless this requires multiple Soma cores. The constructs can be found by Kokol's forge. Please, we've no time to waste. You must retrieve 2 cores for me. We'll begin the process at Phoebos. Find us there when you have the cores in hand.
2 cores coming up.
I think I've been hearing that sting too much lately.
Yeah, the fact that you got the timing right from my music. So, yeah. No salad today. Salad tomorrow. No salad today. Go away. No salad.
That's less salad and more mulch.
Can I go for some cheese dip instead?
Please.
Okay, we're looking for 2 Phobos cores? Or Soma cores.
Soma, yes. Which we then return to Phoebos.
It's off this way. Oh yay! In an area we haven't been in yet. Nice.
Yeah, well.
Speaking of which, 317 to the southwest.
Oh, we're going southwest. Possibly on the other side of the forge.
.105 to the west. Ah, there it is.
Okay. Ah,
Now if we can just get up there.
they do seem to like their rocky hiding places.
Oh, that's one
Okay.
of 2. 417 yolms to the west.
Somewhere around Logisticon Gamma, then.
There's a Soma.
Of course, it's a nice commander.
That's 1. And here be number 2.
Well, that was the wrong thing.
Two Soma cores. Yeah.
Mhm.
And it looks like we have to go all the way back through Logisticon Beta. Or Alpha.
Mhm.
So Somas are considered ice commander types. Interesting. I don't know why I think that's important, but apparently it is. Yeah, sorry, Mr. Lift Operator. We're gonna have to go up again.
Beats being bored.
Us and our Chocobo. Quay! I am glad the Loperts got a chance to actually visit Atreus.
Mm-hmm. Really?
I mean, they really want us to eat our greens.
No, I think our greens really want to eat us.
I will not deny this fact. But yeah, I think they've kind of had a bit of an eye-opening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the eye-opening of this is worth saving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we can, and we're gonna dang well try. Oops. Went slightly the wrong way, but not by much. I mean, they really did try to build something with the burrow, but having only descriptions to work with, well,
It didn't help that those descriptions came from Rylea.
yeah, well.
Next time, talk to the sociologists, not the scientists.
Who first?
The mother. My son has told me all about how you helped him. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Thank you.
Volplane?
You've got the cores. Pray give them to my father.
Monitor?
To think this was happening right under our noses. Did you manage to procure the cores?
2 cores,
Yes.
as ordered.
Core filled with ice-aspected aether. Splendid. Then let us save our son. It's kind of dark. Did the sun go out? Alright, I think we can finally relax. The artificial sun is stable once more. Clearly, we're also enveloped in our own research that we neglected to keep an eye on the systems that allow us to live down here in the first place. I shudder to think what could have befallen us if you and my son had not taken action. You have my thanks for saving us from disaster. And I owe you something else, my son. An apology. I was a fool to ignore your warning simply because of your age. It's fine, Father. Really. In that case, might you be interested in helping find potential improvements for the systems that govern our sun? Of course, I can think of several already.
A true Charlene scientist is born.
Yes!
Mhm.
You guys are gonna need to give him one of those cool research jackets. You know that.
Rylea, Thayrin, I want to thank you properly for being so helpful. Could you come and visit me again in Shirley Hamlet? Wouldn't you feel safer if we, escorted you there? No? Okay.
There's some killer salad on the way. And I don't mean that as a good thing.
Yeah, literally.
head back to the hamlet. And of course, as the later we get in the expansions, the further the quests take us afield to random places.
Yes.
Foxfire, Solid should never fight back. That's part of the problem.
Thank you again. Here's your reward. It's my pocket money, with an additional something from my parents.
You didn't need to.
Yes, he did. I'm so happy that you listened to me and decided to trust my knowledge. I hope our paths cross again when I've become a researcher in my own right. I'll be sure to make you proud.
You do that. I'll take the elegant silver pieces. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, and he has a follow-up.
And I'm down to 2 slots. Oh god.
Oh wait, it's the return of the troll!
Yes. Thick as thieves. For Pauline has something to ask of you once more. Ah, hello again. Thanks once more for your help in sorting out the sun. I've actually got something else to ask if you're willing to hear me out. Concerns a new friend of mine. Young troll that I found wandering around these parts recently.
Ah yes, we remember him.
Obviously, he's not capable of speech, but he can clearly understand me when I talk to him. You do believe me, right? Oh, that's Shaggles.
Yeah, that's Shaggles.
What a peculiar name. Well, that makes explaining the situation much easier. I last saw him by Logisticon Alpha. Let's go see if he's still there.
It'd be good to catch up with Shaggles. And he does love his belly rubs. Whether he'll admit to it or not, it's another matter. And we're back again at Alpha. Hey there, Shaggles!
This is my new friend.
Yo!
I think you've been doing this.
No, I think you were Shaggles.
No, you were Shaggles.
I was Shaggles? Okay.
Yeah.
Grr.
Doing all the growling.
Been searching for you all over, you know. Last we met, I decided to use Magitex to improve my vocalization. That too, grr. I've read my fair share of tomes on the subject. It seems your kind are capable of making your vocal cords vibrate thanks to your ability to breathe through your mouths. Alas, we trolls are incapable of doing so. However, I managed to adapt a wind-aspected spell to enable me to communicate properly. Not that there's anything wrong with nasally grrs, mind you. I'm not gifted enough to activate the spell on my own, so I set this out in search of you once more. It was then that I bumped into this clever child.
What happened to the buffoon?
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been any help, so I left without him. Clearly, I made the right choice. While I may not be able to speak with this boy, he still managed to bring me to you.
Yeah, well. You can understand what he's saying? Simply amazing. I knew he had to have some way of communicating.
I gather he knows a thing or two about either as well. Would you mind telling him what I just told you? Grr.
So that's what he's been trying to tell me about. Of course, I'll do my best to help. The wind-aspected aether vented by the eastern reactor ought to help. If we fiddle with the reactor's settings a bit, we should even be able to create our own blustery vortex of the stuff. That should be all you need to cast your spell.
See, I've got an eye for people. Now take me to this reactor.
Ah, yes. Thayrin Pexa, Warrior of Light, translator for animals.
Yep. Right this way.
Human to troll translations.
Yep. Minimal charge.
Yeah, you've had stranger jobs.
This
Also
is
true.
true. Well, it's not carrying a bag of Armoro shite around. I'm happy. I can't believe that Amuro Trainer was actually trolling us with that. Gee, thanks.
Yeah, I love you too.
At least he paid us. We're gonna have to go by and apologize to Alice again, aren't we?
Yeah.
Sorry, Alice. Give us a little more time.
Honestly.
Trying to avoid the fate.
Trying to avoid your fate.
See.
What a splendid boy he is. I look forward to discussing all kinds of things with him once I'm able to talk.
I'll be back in a bit. I just need to go tinker with the reactor settings. I learned all about this when I was coming up with ways to better the systems for the artificial sun. You are a quick study. It's been like 10 minutes.
Hello, Battle Axe.
All done. I think our wind-aspected aether vortex should pop up somewhere to the west. Keep your wits about you. There's every chance the high concentration of Aether will attract fiends. We don't have any means of protecting ourselves, so we'll need your help. Let us know when you're ready.
Yeah, we're just about ready.
And that's just a repeat.
Okay, Snaggles, what you got? Westward, grrr!
Shaggles and Verpine are now accompanying you. Keep them at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives.
Oh boy.
Hold on. Small talk.
Which one? Which one?
Shaggles!
Once I'm able to talk, I'm gonna have many things to complain about to Naweli Tia. Yeah, I bet you will.
Should I ask Shaggles first once he's able to talk?
No, sorry, wrong way. We want to go the... Oh no. Oh no.
What?
I see a rank hunt.
Oh dear.
This gets good. Let me, this name. That's an actual hunt target.
Ooh.
Yes,
Ooh.
the ooh 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 ooh. This thing is infamous. Apparently there's actually lore behind it.
Of course there is.
If memory serves me right, it's called that because that's what the nomads at the steppe would call young calves.
Oh, great.
Did you ditch your guys because you mounted up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
it's
we go.
ooh with an umlaut, little u. Ooh with an umlaut, little u. Ooh ooh ooh. Not to be confused with woo. Ooh. Ooh. And that's a standard random weekly hunt target.
Okay then.
I don't like how this Birkanan is looking at things. And there is our artificial wind aspected aether current. Buffling?
There he is. Now that we found the current, we simply need to let Shaggles take care of the rest.
So, this is it, eh? Let me give it a go then. Grr. Can you hear me? Brilliant, I can finally talk.
How wonderful. There's so much I want to ask you about. Oh, Father, what brings you here?
Well, if it isn't my favorite buffoon, how'd you know I'd be here?
You can speak. Even your voice is adorable. Pleasure to meet you again. I'm just looking for my boy. I have something of great importance to impart upon him. It's a pleasure for me as well. I've been wanting to speak with Shackles myself. Now he can reply. In that case, why don't you all join me in Shirley and Hamlet? There's someone I'd like you to meet.
Yeah, just for the record, no heaven on high tonight. We're desperate to try and get through MSQ because the internet is seriously testing my spoilage patience.
Oh dear.
I think I've been ruined for half the ending already.
Ooh.
Thank you, worthless memes.
But when you
Worthless
find out
memes.
that when you find out Richard's right, this is Derplander.
You dear!
Actually, Richard
by the way.
Dreyfuss ends with Zodiark.
644 yards to the south. We're kind of heading the wrong direction.
I don't have that yet, do I? How does that keep?
I actually had to share that story with Sky the other night.
Oh boy, that should have been fun.
She was like, oh, that's mean. That's hilarious, but that's me.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was very mean.
So, no Tower of Doom tonight. Tower of Doom next night. Well, if we can ever get through MSQ. But the story is so good. Yeah, once we get through the story and probably open up the raids, we'll be back on Tower of Doom night and also Help Desk, which we haven't done in a while. We still have a clown to kill. Noelle?
Lovely that Shackles can talk. I do wish he'd stop mocking me. Good luck with that.
Here I am, finally able to talk, and people instantly decide they have more important things to share.
Sounds like you helped my son yet again. You have my thanks.
Thank you so much for always looking after our son. So, that's the Troy and the boy I've heard so much about.
So what's this all about? Alas, it is not for me to explain. We have someone here from the studium who will do the honors instead.
That would be me. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I come bearing a message for the two of you from the Scholarch himself. You mean myself and Verpelane? Correct. Master Verpelane and Master Snaggles, was it? Would you perchance be interested in pursuing an education at the studium? The word of your recent accomplishments has reached us, and we are most impressed by your abilities. It would be our honor to welcome you to our institution and help nurture your talents while providing you with ample opportunities to learn. I can hardly believe my ears, but I'm not about to turn down a chance of a lifetime. Of course I'll enroll.
What's the matter, Verpelane? You've more than proved yourself ready to face greater intellectual challenges, to leave Labyrinthos and expand your horizons. It's just that Labyrinthos is all I've ever known. How can I be sure I'll succeed out there?
I know a pair that entered the studio at 11.
Studio at 11. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for trying to reassure me. Why, I won't know anyone there, and
What are you talking about? You got Snaggles. What are you talking about? You know me, don't you? Don't tell me you plan to spend your whole life living in a fishbowl. There's a whole world out there to explore.
you better hurry. It might not be there for long. Dang it.
Did you go past Noelle's?
This is the troll who's never left Labyrinthos either.
Silence, buffoon!
All right, you've convinced me. I'll go.
Splendid. There are just a few sheaves of paperwork to take care of, so I'll need to borrow your guardians for a bit. None of this would have happened if we hadn't met you, would it?
Maybe. I never would have gotten this opportunity or made such a wonderful new friend without you. Thank you. I really mean it.
Farewell!
Farewell. Show me the money.
Yeah, show me the money. Take care, kids.
Mm-hmm.
Aww. Happy endings. That's what we're here for. Hoorah! Yes, bun buns tomorrow night. Always more bun buns, especially now that the server queues are allowing us to do bun buns. And I see one more blue quest over this way.
Yep. Which hopefully will not be a, like, hour-long chain or something.
Yeah. Hello, Mr.
You're a gleaner.
Yes, he is.
Gleaner's wish. The Viera Gleaner is watching you with interest. You're a visitor to Rylea, aren't you? You do have a worldly look about you.
Oh, thank
As
you.
a gleaner,
Nothing at all.
As a gleaner, I too have journeyed far and wide. Tell me, where is the furthest you have ventured?
The moon?
World.
Another world.
Is that meant to be a jest? The look on your face tells me you're serious.
Yeah, I'm serious, actually.
You should do nicely. You see, I need a more experienced traveler to say a prayer for me when I leave for Garabania. If you would do me the honor, the reactor operator by the tower to the south should have a lantern crystal prepared for the purpose.
Garabania is a bit musty, but it's a good place. Still has a ways to go to rebuild. But it can rebuild, and that's the important part. If we can save the entire world first!
It's on our to-do list.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Save the world on the to-do list. There's the lantern he must speak of.
Yeah, save the world. Just below fishing.
I need to get back on the big fish. Actually, I need a little more gear first. No, actually what I need is a new mat. Dear, when you have a moment. I want...
We don't, that thing's dying. Yeah, it's fine. We didn't get you to. Yep.
I'm about ready to rip up the carpet with this mat.
Oh, yes.
This
Yeah.
is company expense.
Yeah,
Yeah, switch our three quartz.
remind me tomorrow and we will go mat shopping.
And,
It's kind of a little late tonight.
yeah, that'll be bad.
Just a bit.
Let's put it this way. There's a section of the mat that's curling up.
Yeah, I was noticing this morning that it had really turned into 2D fragments.
Mm-hmm. So,
You sad?
yeah, I'm sad.
Thank you, Foxfire. Are you here for the crystal? I hope it does some good for that gleaner. Those folks need all the luck they can get. Lanterns light the way through the darkness, a tool which can mean the difference between life and death. They're synonymous with safe passage, and as such, it has become custom in recent days to imbue the crystals inside with the prayers of a more seasoned traveler. And today, that traveler is you. Simply face the crystal and pray for the safety of the traveler to be, if you will.
Be happy to.
Don't know how much it'll help, but we are certainly quite seasoned. A colleague recently told me about the power of Akasha, a concept taught in Raz.Han, and how it reacts to strong emotion.
That it does.
I wonder if this method of praying to a crystal is a manifestation of that power. Well, that should about do it. With luck, your prayers will help guide the gleaner safely through the perils of his journey.
So, do you think Akasha will be the official name, or will it be Dynamis?
Probably Akasha.
Yeah. At least that name has a distinct taxonomy that people can follow.
Well, so does Dynamis, but all the currently extant papers on the subject are talking about Akasha.
Yeah. Yes, we do have a lantern crystal for you.
Lantern crystal. Crystal imbued with hope for a safe journey. You have my thanks. With your prayer fueling its light, I have faith that it will keep me safe until my return. And now, I depart for Girabanya. I hope your travels are successful as well as mine. Thank you.
Say hi to Leeds
And
for us.
Thank you for this.
Ooh.
So 1 and 1.
One and one. But first, we have a wayward carbuncle. Unless it looks like it'll take too long, and then we'll get back on the MSQ.
Wayward Carbuncle. The studium researcher looks in need of assistance. They seem to be doing like one of these a zone lately. Excuse me. You there. You look capable. Could you find a missing carbuncle for me?
Possibly.
Ordinarily, a carbuncle would never be without an arcanist, but this one was found alone roaming the wilds of La Nosea, so I had it sent here for research purposes.
Really?
I swear I took my eye off it for barely even a moment and it scampered off somewhere outside the hamlet. Seeing as it's far too dangerous out there for someone of my disposition, I was hoping you could look for it in my stead.
We'll take a peep-piece.
You have my thanks. I don't think it could have made it out of the central circuit, but that still leaves a wide area to search. This guiding crystal should make the job a bit easier. Will react when the carbuncle is near, glowing more brightly the closer you are to your quarry. Hot and cold again. Once you've secured the entity, please bring it back here to me. I wish you fortune in your hunt. And
Right
it's
then.
a different guiding crystal. Hold on a moment. This crystal reacts in the presence of gem-based arcane entities. Thank you. Remains silent. Must be elsewhere. Remains inert.
We're going to check each sub thing until it lights up.
Yeah.
Like right here. Elsewhere.
Inert.
And we'll just go around the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Considering these things seem to have a pretty wide range.
Yeah.
And this time we're not going by Alice, so we don't have to apologize and listen to her bemoan that we're not doing main story. Not here either. Of course, it'd probably be easier if we took the inner circuit, but I want to avoid Alice at the moment, so...
Is the guilt piling up?
Not so much guilt as, well, this is Alice. She gets kind of, antsy. Forceful. Must be elsewhere.
Yep. Probably going the wrong way around, but hey.
We'll check for aether currents while we're at it.
Yep.
To the south.
Yep.
This is the other community. Should we touchy?
Yeah.
Oh, and talk with the Chocobo Keep. No, we're good. And checking for still inert.
No, crystal twinkles only faintly. Where could that carbuncle be?
Okay, because it did not say that over here.
Which means we've just barely gotten into range.
Yeah.
Which means we're quite some distance away, but we're actually closer than we were.
Aggressive. Brutal. Yeah. Oh, it's Alice. She'd rather take action than talk, so, and I don't necessarily blame her.
Let's double check around here.
Getting to the center of the area, which is quite large, actually.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of wanting to do it a bit earlier.
Oh, and I see an aether current.
Glimmers warmly. Maybe on the right track. And... Ah, there it is.
This must be the water area.
Really? What makes you think that?
Just a feeling.
Okay, so now we just need to get to the main story part that'll give us the final one. And warmly.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's
Surprise.
the next zone over.
Possibly. Or at least somewhere around Logisticon Gamma.
And you are an A rank. We're not touching you.
Or C.
Let's try here.
Warmly.
If we hit faintly again, we know to go back.
Yep.
Okay,
Faintly.
back.
Okay, so we are... Meow.
Fine.
Eat Bahamut.
So either somewhere here in Logisticon Gamma or the water station
just-
next door.
Yeah. Okay, that's faintly. I want to try at the other end of this kind of road thing. Thank you. Warmly. So wherever it is, it's closer to the outside of the zone than the inside of the zone. Warmly. Warm.
Yeah, at this point it's best if we kind of split up.
Yep.
I'll check along the back ring.
Warm.
Brilliant! Must be
Ooh.
nearby.
Indeed. Oh.
Did you make a friend?
He invited himself.
Okay, I got the brilliant back in here.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant here.
Here he is! Hey, little fella, what are you doing over here?
Carbuncle peers at you anxiously, not letting its guard down. Perhaps it would be let you pick it up if you soothe it first.
I think he's the older model of Carbuncle? It's a different color slightly.
Yeah. It's okay, little guy. We got Toopy treats for you.
Yeah, you want a Toby treat, don't ya?
Carbuncle visibly calms, allowing you to cradle it in your arms.
Aww.
I think my actual Carbuncle's gonna get jealous.
And it is on the complete opposite side of the circuit from where the quest is.
Yeah. Yeah, wow.
Nice. For various degrees of nice.
For various I wish we could fly degrees of nice.
Yeah, we're just missing the one last...
Yeah,
What?
which should be main story.
Sorry.
Eh.
And now for the great ride back.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, we can kind of take more of an inner ring, which should be a little faster. Mostly. Maybe. Possibly. How did a carbuncle get lost without its summoner?
Yeah.
Unless this is... No, it couldn't be.
Hmm.
Tataru's carbuncle.
Oh, jeez. He's kinda far from home for that, but man, he does wonder.
Or at least maybe her original carbuncle, because technically we get new carbuncles every time we summon them.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a carbuncle getting lost. I'd forgotten that one.
Well, the only other one would be Emmy, but that one always just stays in Mordona. And
Yeah.
definitely has a summoner.
Mm-hmm.
But Tataru's...
Yeah, that one just kind of went away.
I was
and
like,
was never seen again.
I'm not having any of this.
Yeah.
And kind of did the same when the big fight with the four lords. Looky what we found.
Did you find the carbuncle? Wayward carbuncle. Said to have been found roaming alone in the wilds, this carbuncle looks oddly familiar.
Oh no!
It is Tataru's. Thank goodness, or rather, thank you. As I said, they found the poor thing alone in the countryside, though, yeah, Lanosea it would be wrong.
Mm-mm. She first summoned it in Lanosea as her first trial. With the boxes?
Oh, right. Yeah.
And the carbuncle.
Never mind. Wandering the mountains of northern Lanosea, I believe. Wow, he went a long ways.
Mm-hmm.
It should have vanished as soon as its master dismissed it, although it's possible the command was never given. No. In which case it should theoretically persist until the aether that forms it is consumed. But for that reserved to last long enough for the entity to grow wild, an immensely talented arcanist must have summoned it. No. But I wouldn't give to meet someone that powerful. No. Researching this little creature should net me some fascinating data indeed. Thank you again for retrieving it for me.
Yeah, I think it's Tataru's original carbuncle.
Can we tell Tataru?
I don't know if it would help.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we need to go talk to LSA.
So it would seem. You know what this means?
Yeah. Time to upboard. Well, hopefully Bard and Dancer will make a good combo.
You can dance to my singing.
Can I?
Yes!
Really? Can I?
Yes!
Yeah, sorry about that, LSA. You would not believe what we just found. Squeal! Squeal! Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Why is the box squealing?
Yes, why is the box squealing? I think I know what it is, too. Thayrin, Rylea, what are you doing out here? We're here to help you move boxes. No, I don't mind if you help move the boxes, but it's far more exciting. But there's far more exciting tasks. Are you sure? Yeah, we're sure. Well, I appreciate the assistance. We need to get these to Arporia, and time is short, of course, but they're full of organic specimens and samples, so try not to be too rough with them.
Yeah.
Alphino should be waiting for us when we arrive. I'll see you there.
Deliver the crates of samples to Alphino. 3 minutes.
I fear I know what's in these.
Yeah.
And hope we don't get sideswiped by an Ala.
Yeah.
Well, this is our pointer to the other area, which we just discovered while looking for a lost carbuncle.
Carbuncle. Yes. Really, I didn't think she'd have enough Aether Pool to maintain a carbuncle this long.
I think we need to talk to our little, blackmailer. Hey, Alphino, we seem to have some boxes of samples for you.
Box delivery. Oh, you're helping with the crates. Wonderful. You can put that there with the others. You have my gratitude. But how did you come to be involved in this?
Arianja sent us this way. Oh, sorry, Thancred.
Yes. Then I suppose I have Thingrid to thank as well. If you're wondering why we were tasked with bringing these boxes to Aporia to begin with, so was I. It turns out that this is a base of operations of sorts. Those with the final say as to what is included in the ship's manifest can be found here. Father included, I suspect.
That should be everything.
Carried all of that at once? Were you trying to injure yourself?
Oh, hush. They're lighter than they look, and not everyone has your delicate arms.
Oh!
I suppose we should at least let someone know we finished. Theopaldin... sorry.
Ahem. Theopaldin is in the courtyard. We can report to him.
Why don't you come along? You should get credit for your assistance, at least. Considering while we're at it, we might even learn something interesting.
if we're truly the best thing that has ever happened to you, I sincerely apologize.
Yeah. The twins are both beloved and behexed by the community in equal measure. Alice, eh? This must be Theopaldin.
I keep thinking that I've seen him elsewhere, but I cannot for the life of me remember when. Gods, it never ends, does it? What can I do for you?
We've brought the samples from Charlene Hamlet, Series 110, the crates by the entrance.
Ah, thank you. I'd expected one of my colleagues, but we're dreadfully short-handed. Just a moment. You're Furgenau's children, are you not? Alphino and Alice, at your service. We're well acquainted with Father, I take it. Or you're well acquainted with Father, I take it. Quite. Been friends with your parents since our days at the studio. I remember when you were yay high, waddling thither and thither. Clearly, it's been quite some time since we met. 'Tis good to see you again, wielding your father's no-liths, no less.
You knew our parents when we were young? What were they like? Pray, spare no details.
Well then, I should like nothing more than to regale you. Alas, I am meant to be in charge here, and reams of paperwork wait for submission.
We can help with
We'll
that.
do the paperwork for blackmail material.
Yes! We can help with that in exchange for the sorts of stories our parents would never willingly divulge, of course.
Exactly. Very well then. There happen to be 3 sets of documents in need of delivery, so how about you each take one?
Wait right there.
You'll find a forum representative waiting to collect these near the southernmost structure. I hope I haven't kept her waiting too long. Never mind Alphino and Alice. I'm certain they'll be back soon enough.
Yeah,
I
that
expect
is
so,
their
too.
want. As we go wandering off into the garden. Ah, there they are. Reserved representative. Ma'am, we've got some papers for you. Are you not one of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn? I thought you were meant to be working on the Aether Burner. That's been taken care of. Right now we're doing odd jobs.
Signed documentation. The nature of this paperwork is not particularly well-guarded secret, but due to how dull it is to read, will nevertheless remain largely unknown.
Theopaldin's paperwork. I was beginning to worry he had misplaced his quill. I appreciate your help seeing these documents to my hands. As for your other task, pray keep this between us, but I sincerely hope you Scions succeed. The Exodus is, without a doubt, the most monumental undertaking in the history of the Forum, and so we must be circumspect in all respects. A risk is a privilege we cannot afford ourselves. At its heart, however, Charlene has ever been a nation of the curious. 'Twould be a tragedy if there were ones to stymie your pursuit of truth.
Thank you. quick and efficient. Dare say you have a talent for this work. Something like that. The twins' papers only needed to be delivered elsewhere in the facility, so they should be returning any moment.
Oh, this should get good.
You think?
We return, and not a scrap of paper remains on our person. You will note.
You both have my thanks, and my apologies for sending you on an errand far below your ambitions. Why, even as a babe, you struggled out of your swaddling clothes and...
It's quite enough of that, thank you. It was compromising stories of our parents that we asked to hear. To reiterate?
Of course, of course. I've known your fathers for so long. I must have something. Well, as you know, part of why the Leveler name garners such respect in Sherlane is your family's storied history. You too can trace your ancestry directly to those who came aboard Ninkref's Hope, lineage few can claim.
I never thought about it much myself. It's not as though our forebears founded our nation. They were simply there when it happened.
Nevertheless, it has traditionally been a point of pride. 'Tis why Ninkref's pronouncement, renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason, has ever been our family's creed. Until your grandfather's time, Arca and Louisois looked not to Ninkref's words, but his deeds. He asserted, in defiance of his peers, that choosing to save the great and the small from the rising tides was a true mark of our founder's virtue. Perhaps it was his expertise, his knowledge of ancient prophecy and the fall of civilizations, that led him to conclude that to eschew conflict at every turn was to consign mankind to its doom.
There will ever be conflict, and the calamity will follow. Thus, to ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom. It is indolence.
You remember his words well. Indeed, Archon Louisois lived by that personal creed, and used every means at his disposal to bring succor to those in need, Sherlane or no. No one loved and admired your grandfather more than his son. Fortunato could not reconcile Louisois' deeds with the philosophy of their forebears and his peers, a philosophy which he believed so fervently, yet made a pariah of his father. Fortunato agonized over this contradiction for much of his life. God's father. The son may carry his father's blood, but his choices are his own to bear. Is it not always thus? Gods know Fortunato's a cranky old goat, so I'm sure you butt heads often enough. Yet even so, you must know that you are constantly in his thoughts, every moment of every day, and that is not an exaggeration in the slightest. You should have seen him when you were born. Barely recognizable he was, with a kind of dumbfounded grin I'd not seen since he first took a fancy to your mother. He was practically skipping when he told me the news. Take my word for it, he loves you to an embarrassing degree. But he is also frustratingly single-minded. Once he's decided that a given action is for the best, he will stay the course no matter who or what opposes him. Profoundly annoying habit when you're on the other side of it, as I'm sure you'll agree.
I'll say.
Thank you for your insight. When next we meet our parents, I shall mention that we spoke. Try not to get me into too much trouble now. I need the forum on my side. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back to work. I have to make sure the specimens you brought may get to their proper places, or the cranky old goat will have my hide. We can speak again later.
Who do you think?
Probably me? Hail, you there! Oh, indeed.
Graha, surely Coco hasn't driven you off the forge already?
For better or worse, no. However, he has sent me a task that requires more than my single pair of hands, and here you are. I could use at least one of you, but I won't object to more. Unfortunately, Alice and I have prior commitments, and we've delayed too long as it is.
What about you two, Thayrin, Rylea? Can you spare the time?
Stoic nod.
From a #1 fanboy? Always.
Perfect. This shouldn't take long. The one slot!
Much as I'd like to press Theopaldin for more riveting tidbits, we should get back to our tasks.
Tis strange to hear Father spoken of in such a way, but I suppose he would find your view of me no less odd.
My question is if he thought so highly of you, why did he disown you?
I think he felt it was for their own protection.
Possibly.
Once forged, an unspecified task awaits you.
Bring on this unspecified task.
In the event that our, and I quote, promised heap of adamantite falls right out of the bloody sky and into my lap, Master Kukul wishes to be ready to put the proverbial hammer to anvil at a moment's notice. To fabricate these parts, however, he needs the flames of Kukul's forge to burn hotter. He sent me to increase the amount of aether being funneled to his furnaces. The flow of fire-aspected aether in Labyrinthos is regulated by an elemental reactor south of here, to which I've borrowed the key. The adjustment will require 2 people to carry out safely, but I can explain the process once we arrive.
And this is where we part then. We'll see you in Charlene Hamlet once the adamantite arrives, if not before.
This way, then. I don't think.
And we're going around the whole circuit.
Of course we are.
Zoom! She's got that flying itch under her feathers now. Really? This is fire aspected? I thought this would be the wind aspected.
Huh.
Raha, you sure you got the right place?
The reactor is housed within this facility. I'll be the one to go inside and adjust the fire aether output. When I do, rather a large amount of water aspected aether will issue from the vent at the top.
Ah! Okay. That's
Yeah.
what's happening is they're venting.
I expect this to attract at least a few elementals, which we would both rather not be drawn into the reactor itself. Trust me. Can I ask that you put down any that draw too near? They'll pose you little trouble, I'm sure. Wait here if you would. Yep, starting the vent.
And here's our destination.
Okay. Oh, right. I'm no longer a summoner.
Nope.
Survey the location again. Did everything go smoothly out here? Stoic nod. I thought as much. No major complications to speak of inside either.
Good.
And the water aether appears to be venting properly. I expect Kokol will have seen a difference in his forge flames by the time I return. Since I have you, there is another matter I thought to discuss with you.
Okay.
Nothing terribly important, merely something I've been considering. Part of this I shared with everyone, yet you, and only you, have been to Elpis.
What's this about?
As we have established, refined adamantite is a product of Alag, the Empire's twilight years, in fact. It was a material which saw much use as part of Allagan's efforts to extend beyond the bounds of this world. Dalamud, of course, being the most prominent. Of those who would push further, expand Allag's empire to encompass the heavens and the stars above, perhaps the greatest was its infamous technologist, Amun.
This is about Fandaniel, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Did he remember his life as Hermes?
Yeah. I believe he had his own reasons. There is no evidence to suggest that he retained memories of his former life. He only joined the Asians once the Empire was all but dusty, as you know. If not his memory, though, what drove him to pursue the idea with such fervor? This may seem far-fetched, but what if souls, like minds, have a personality, so to speak, and natural disposition towards which they are inclined?
I've always suspected that. After all, it's the spark of what makes us us, with stripped of memory. If that makes sense.
We know with relative certainty that it was the gross decadence and inexorable decline of Alag that moved Ammon to resurrect Emperor Zande. The Empire's people spoke lightly of death and destruction, experimenting on those they deemed beneath them to fill the emptiness in their hearts. In facilitating Zandi's return, Ammon provided these languid souls with a means to free themselves of the mire of their own indolence. Or would have, had not Zandi been convinced by his own death that life itself was meaningless. Ammon's desire for his countrymen to conquer the heavens could only be a means to the same end, to instill the people with a new purpose. Like Hermes before him, Ammon was appalled by how those around him lived, but could never bring himself to believe that those lives were devoid of meaning. And both of them sought that meaning, that hope, in the distant stars. Such is my theory, anyway. Ultimately, it is the consequences of their actions which matter. Their motives are of no moment. And yet, to reach those stars on wings of adamantite, to Travel to the ends of creation and beyond. Promise of hope everlasting. That much I do understand. But enough musing for now. Why don't we see how Kokol is getting on?
Right then. He makes some valid points.
Mm-hmm.
Still no side quests.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I'm really wondering if Fandaniel
Mm-hmm.
basically remembered the entire thing once the Soul Stone with his memories were given to Amon, because then it would have cleared
Yeah.
the Aether Wipe. Possibly. It depends on how the Soul Stone was created in the sequence of things. Graha?
I did thoroughly brief Kokol on the unrefined adamantite's history. I only volunteered to go to the reactor because I was finished and there is a little else to do. Hopefully that dispels any misapprehensions that I was kicked out for prattling on.
Hey, Kokol.
Whew, I can feel those flames ablazing from here. Glad you found someone capable, Graha, but there's not much left for you lot to do. Unless you can conjure up that refined adamantite any faster.
I'm sure there are many good people working on that job.
Yes. Top Urkons are on the job.
Speaking of flight,
Uh-huh. And the end of my inventory. Bonds of adamantite. Kokol Danticole is, as usual, worked up over the Aether Burner. I do trust you to deliver on your promise, I do. Only... I hate waiting! I want that adamantite and I want it now! Share your impatience, I assure you. Is there truly nothing else we can assist with in the meantime? I wish. This sitting about's unbearable. Pity the forum frowns on recreational explosions.
spoken like
so
a
long
true
as they-
engineer.
Well, so long as they can't prove it was premeditated, get ye gone. I've mistakes to make.
Hey.
In that case, I suppose we should go and return the key to the reactor. I'll have one more look to make sure that nothing has gone wrong, unintentionally or otherwise. I'm certain there are better uses for your time, however. I will join you in Shirley and Hamlet anon.
Right. Now, no destroying the facility.
Any smoke raising from the building behind me will be entirely unrelated to what I didn't say. Got it.
Actually, why don't you get Lucy up for a second? I want to put a jacket on. It's getting cold in here. The air is like going right down the back of my neck.
Here's the one I want.
Hiya, Lucy.
You're gonna make me work.
Our backup chocobo.
We always carry a spare.
Yeah, definitely need new mat. One is officially dead.
Yeah, it is. I was noticing this morning.
It's only gotten worse. I don't know if it's going to last the night.
No, it certainly isn't going to get better.
But this match lasted how long? So I shouldn't complain. I think we got our money out of it.
Oh, yes.
What I need is like a double-sized mat so I can get it under my drawing table as well.
Yeah.
Because right now it's kind of hard to sit and work at the drawing table because the mat kind of interferes.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that was the biggest one we could get. If you wait here, your companions are bound to turn up sooner or later.
Wait your companions. See.
Yeah, the sun came up awfully suddenly.
All set, I take it?
We finished what we could. Delivered supplies, tracked down escaped animals. Trivial tasks as they may be.
That's enough, don't you think? If there was anything more important still undone, that would be a problem in itself.
The vessel is essentially ready for departure. All that remains is to load the final batch of supplies and see everyone on board. Once we've readied the ether burner, that is.
Ah, had a feeling we might find you all here.
Our consultations with the Loperites, too, have run their course. Pleased I am to say that our researchers' concerns have, for the most part,
But
been
of
allayed,
course.
though some insist on making adjustments to the very end. For their part, Livingway and her peers have graciously offered to stay and keep the people company, lest any lingering queries go unanswered.
All that remains is to wait for the refined adamantite.
Alphino, are you there? It's me, Cryle. Your special delivery has arrived.
Must be
Round
quite a
up
delivery.
everyone and come to the harbor at once.
Speak of the devil. Let us go at once.
Forgive the intrusion, Master Fortuner. I bring urgent news. A great commotion has broken out in Scholar's Harbor. Your presence is requested with all speed.
Now, where might this delivery be? Oh.
Oh dear.
I think they hit the jackpot. Oh my.
I'm sure it's very important, but we cannot accept these without the proper permits.
Oh no.
12. Surely, these can't all be.
Bleeding hellfire! They're bringing them by sea and by air. All these folks in these crates.
And more on the way. Got your adamantite right here. A bigger haul than any of these sorry bastards brought, and that's no lie.
Yes, because you were charged with seeing the shipments from Gridania and Uldar here, along with your own. Give credit where credit is due.
Sounds like the sorry whinging of a sore loser. An hypocrite to boot. Ain't no way a scrawny whelp like you took a dozen steps inside a Dalamon shard.
I'll have you know I went all the way to the entrance. Furthermore, 'twas my contacts that enabled us to enlist the cooperation of the Sky Pirates.
Left you outside so you wouldn't get anyone killed, did they? Well then, credit where credit's due, you did a right fine job sitting on your ass.
Oh god, these two are... They're off to a fine start.
I will not stoop to your level.
My, what a grand welcome party.
Hancock and Saraban. We come bearing relics both sacred and Allagan, as well as a few other gifts that may be of help, to be presented with best wishes from the Eastern Alliance. Our friends in Bosnia, for instance, have sent along a few artifacts for the brave allies of the Resistance. That's you.
I myself have come with a sacred relic of Rayson Temple. 'Twas passing fortunate that Senri's dango craving brought us to Kugane. We arrived precisely as Hancock was making his arrangements.
Senryu has a thing for dongos. I will have to remember this.
Holy cow, that's a heck of a relic.
We made haste back to Hell's Lid, with our dango, never fear, and consulted with the other auspices. All consented to the lending of Tenzin's legendary Phoenix Blade for this noble cause.
Ooh.
Suzaku and Seiryu were nevertheless worried that it might be lost in transit, however, and insisted upon accompanying me to Onakoru, where I had intended to entrust it to our Confederate allies. I thought instead to give it over to Hancock when we chanced to cross paths yet again. But alas, Seiryu remained ill at ease, and ordered me see the blade into your hands personally, or die trying.
Yeah, that would be Seiryu.
We did, of course, need quite the impressive vessel to get it all here in time. Fortunately, our Majestic associates have been more than helpful. 'Tis an honor to join the Warrior of Light on another adventure, they tell me.
That is all wonderful to hear, but what of the extraordinary cost? I shudder to think of the ransom we must pay for such a bounty.
Fret not for your coin purse, young Alphino. Lord Lolorito looks ever towards the profits of the future, and thus the East Aldenar Trading Company went to some lengths to reduce the financial liability. And since the Scions funded the entire venture, not a gill need be rendered up in compensation. Everything is already yours.
We funded the venture? When?
Don't let the name fool you. This coin keeper knows a thing or two about spending. When it comes to capital investiture, a sprinkling of gil here and there will not do. You need enough savings to make waves when it really counts, which is why frugality is paramount. We also had the benefit of a generous patron. Generous being rather an understatement. She has supported us from the shadows since the very founding of the Scions. We even had coffers to fill.
Oh!
Mother!
Hello!
I remain, of course, an entirely neutral party. I simply thought our family's coffers were needlessly full. We can hardly take them with us on your teeny-tiny toy boat, now can we? And would be a shame to leave all that hard-earned wealth unspent.
I like her.
Waste not.
You, sir, have been overridden by your family.
However did you manage so much in so short a time, then? We expected word to reach only a fraction of our allies.
Did I not tell you I have my ways? Erenville, you were involved too.
I received a letter from Cryo after we parted ways in Labyrinthos. She explained what the Scions were trying to accomplish, and why you might soon require the services of the Gleaners, spread across the world as we are. I pray you do not interpret this as a betrayal of Charlie. I accept that the Forum's aim in pushing us to our limits was to preserve what knowledge we have, and I bear you no ill will for it. Yet, in collecting that knowledge, what I came to appreciate most about our star is that there remains so much we do not know. That is why I chose to help the Scions, to combat the obliteration of those countless undiscovered wonders. I held no illusions that they would be less demanding taskmasters, though, rest assured, if I had, I would have been sorely disappointed. To make a long story short, the whole of the guild ship cooperated to ensure your call was heard far and wide.
Well then.
What's this about a ship that can fly to the moon?
I was wondering when he'd show up. And Nero in tow.
The one time you don't beg my aid, your problem's a bloody ship that can fly to the moon. See it. You brought the team.
Oh, a nice change of music.
Of course. Garland Ironworks' finest. You need only point us towards my new favorite ship.
Hi, Alpha.
Oh, I nearly forgot. We stopped by Whirlint before coming here and picked up a package from Gaius. He's still of the mind that actions make for better penance than words, contrite or otherwise, so we offer none of the latter. What he sent is an Allagan relic Valens used in his weapons experiments. There's a fair bit of refined adamantite in it too.
As you like us not suspect, we've also brought adamantite for Mordona's Dalamud shard. I admit to some consternation upon first receiving Kryle's message. So few Scions remain at the Rising Stones now, far too few for such an expedition. However, the Gleaners were able to secure us reinforcements. Idleshire's treasure hunters, not least among them. I know. How the Gobbyfrog fought. Slowfix's gratitude for the safe return of his daughter has not waned, and he gathered his kin to our side with an astounding quickness. The clash between their machina and the Allagan defences was a sight to behold. I wager even you would have been impressed by the magnitude of the Gobby booms.
Indeed.
Fascinating as all this is, I fail to see how it explains your presence here. Does Razathan not have more pressing concerns?
We do. Yet averting the final days would be the most expedient solution. That, and I am indebted to you. Though they chose to take their leave of Thavnair, those you saved in Galimund remain my people. My gratitude is beyond words. It is appropriate that I aid you in kind. If in the doing we bring salvation to others of this star, so much the better. You will recall that I spoke of my father, Midgard Sommer, and his journey across the great expanse. As he traveled betwixt the stars, his resplendent scales drank of the ether in those nigh empty surrounds, and imparted to him the strength to persevere. Thinking they might further your cause, I called out to my kin for consent. Ashdaya's answer was silence, as ever.
We finally have a name for the 7th dragon. We've never heard that before, or at least in game.
Hrisvelgre, however, responded favorably to the suggestion. My sire, too, stirred from his slumber long enough to speak and say, "Very well." Thus have I brought you his own worm scales. Fit them to your purpose, and seek a worthier fate for us all.
Oh, Midi.
You'd be hard-pressed to find someone else so familiar with the unique properties of dragon scales. So I invited myself along.
Bugger me, this is so unbelievable. I've gone right back round to believing it again.
Forget a 6% gain in efficiency. With all these goodies, we could get 7, no, 10, no, 14 bleeding percent.
Think of how far we could go. What we could do with that much power. What we could blow up.
No blowing up. Blowing up is not allowed.
If Kokol is duly convinced, then it must be true. In which case, the science end of the bargain has been fulfilled. Would you not agree?
Yes, Father?
I know not what you seek of Hydaelyn, nor for what purpose you would take command of our ship. Yet this much is certain. To do so will be to dictate the fate of this star and the lives upon it. The lives of each and every creature, in their magnitude and their fragility. Do you understand? And are you prepared?
We have seen and we have felt how much each life shapes this world. And so we are determined to abandon none. We understand what is at stake, and we are prepared to bear this burden.
Then I will bear it with you.
Oh!
I beg you, share your struggles with me. As family.
So they're no longer disowned, right?
You grasped my fingers with such tiny hands the day you were born. I thought my heart might burst. It was love and happiness beyond expression. Overwhelming. And a conviction so powerful that I trembled with something close to rage. I had heard the final days foretold. I swore to myself then and there that I would not let them steal your futures. great exodus would succeed, must succeed. No sacrifice or sin was worse than the alternative. If anything gave me pause, 'twas mine own father. The Archon Louisois openly decried Charlian's policies, a perspective which I regarded with increasing disdain as I grew older. Yet even as part of me thought him a fool, perhaps I also hoped that he, of all people, would devise a brilliant means to save my children. A naive hope, but stubborn enough that I could never bring myself to keep you apart. No, that was his doing, when he perished at Cartano. As we pulled that twisted slab of Dalamud from the sea, I remembered the warmth of your newborn touch. Chastened, I vowed never again to suffer any interference in my mission to protect you. No matter that you yourselves wished otherwise. Detest me, fight me tooth and nail, I would suffer it, and more, and be satisfied so long as I could force you onto the ship. I was wrong. You two have grown so much stronger and so much wiser than I dared dream. You have earned the right to walk your own path, and already begun to do so.
Good. Because there are things we care about, and people we love, and none of them is replaceable. Not a one.
It cannot have been an easy journey for you to have come so far.
We shall be glad to acquaint you with the finer details someday, once this danger has passed. All that we have seen and heard, that we have felt and learned in our travels. Ours is not a kind world, but it is beautiful. Always.
Oh no. Are you quite sure that's wise? After all, someone turns pale and flees the room when he sees so much as an envelope containing word of your adventures.
Oh no!
Whatever will happen if he learns what you were really up to?
Millions. Though I have wronged my children most gravely, I owe you an apology as well. I assumed that it was the Scion's influence that made them so keen to charge headlong into danger. Yours,
well, what did I say?
Are you kidding? I've been following them this entire time.
I see now that said influence instead brought them together with the many fine people gathered here today. In which case, I hope you continue to guide them.
If we've finished loitering about the harbor, might I suggest we put our plans into motion? People are beginning to look confused.
Perhaps you can spare a few words ere they resume the tedious lugging of cargo. You have no small number of friends and admirers here, after all.
Oh god, you're making me do a speech again, aren't you?
I can't do a speech. I'm a silent hero. Lend us your strength.
Yeah. Short and sweet, that's all we need. If we said anything more, everyone would question our sanity.
Or if we're really us.
Mm-hmm.
Your assistance is appreciated. Now, in an orderly fashion, if you please.
Now, I wonder how much of that changes for having done certain things, like gone through the various alliance quests.
Probably a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Who do we start with? We've got a lot of people to talk to.
First of all, those berries are the most tasty fresh gobby treats. Never seen them before. They aren't dangerous, are they? Not at all. Very safe. Safe for uplanders to yummy eat. Gobbies never lie, so let us sell our gobby goods. I guess that's it.
Let's start with Tataru.
You have made a lot of friends in these years.
Oh, yes.
My throat hurts from directing so many people to Labyrinthos, but that only proves we've got our money's worth.
Our secret packer.
I apologize for not informing you earlier of Ernvale's involvement. He was something of a contingency plan. Thank goodness we had him and his fellow gleaners at hand, though. It would have been monstrously difficult to locate Sid and transport the Hanish delegation here otherwise. Brostinian?
Estinian? Sorry. Not really. The time has come to claim our prize. Are you prepared?
Lise sent a letter along with the Gridania's contributions. It seems she traveled there to aid in their adamantite recovery. Evidently, journeying to Gridania was quite the trial, as was getting into Dalamud's shard, as was reaching its depths. I suspect she will have a few kind words to say about the Alligans when next we meet. Yeah, well, we all have about the same sort of appreciation for the Alligans at this point. Are you on, Jay?
Unaided, we scions could never have gathered such a bounty. Refined adamantite, relics sacred and ancient alike. I find myself quite overcome.
I'm surprised you're not chilled to the bone yet. It's snowing.
He has all our friends to keep him warm. If I never see another crate again, it will be too soon. I cannot wait to see what our friends from the Ironworks will do with the ship.
I had no idea how massive a weight it was until he lifted it off my shoulders. But more importantly, his words were an affirmation that the path we walk is the right one. A part of me might have been satisfied so long as my friends and family survived the final days, but to save the star is what we all want most, and if there are some people that believe that I can help see it done, who am I to say otherwise? Come what may, we fight for this world of ours until the very end. And we're going to pause before hitting Alpha Note because there's something over here that I know Rylea wants desperately.
It won't help.
It won't help?
Not really.
Are you sure?
I'm just completely out of space.
Do you have any coconut chowder? I can take the coconut chowder off your hands.
Yeah.
And we might be able to unload some of these elegant silver pieces.
Yeah, that much I can do. Just one.
Just the one? Amazing. Now, let's see about a merchant for our,
No. Don't need a merchant.
Oh, true. Our retainers can do that. Come here, Gilda of the, yeah, I'm working on your guild. Sorry. She's currently in the fugly clown stage of the, gear upgrades.
Yeah. That's too many.
Unfortunately, she's out on a mission, so I can't exactly give her more gear. Okay, Alphino, we're ready for this. Hopefully it'll be someplace slightly warmer than here. I'm kind of getting cold. Colder than Urianger. And that's saying something.
We finally managed to clear the harbor, which means the rest is in the engineer's capable hands. Meanwhile, Father has issued to us an invitation. As was agreed, he will reveal the means by which Hydaelyn may be contacted. We are to meet him at Aporia when we're ready. Given the vital knowledge she holds, I suggest we leave without delay. It transpires, however, that the Forum's method for speaking with her is not without risks. I'm curious to hear what those might entail, but regardless, be warned.
Most of those who arrived with the Adamantite have offered to see any remaining tasks that need to be done. The Forum has already asked for my assistance in overseeing the process, so you needn't worry about a thing.
Thank you, Tataru. We're off to Aporia then.
So we're
Hold
gonna...
on.
Hmm? Oh! We have side quests!
Oh, that too, but we also have Tataru.
I don't want any of you getting hurt, but I do hope you'll wring as much information out of Hydaelyn as you can. For all we know, this is the one and only opportunity we'll get.
Sadly, yeah.
And there are 2 side quests.
Pikers.
Tigers?
Pikers.
Yeah, well.
They're being cheap. Only 2 quests.
Hello, Dickon. What can we do for you? I should probably transfer into something else. Sage
something
seems
warmer?
good. No, actually... No. Definitely not. Yeah! This'll work.
Sandwiches and pretzels. Dickon is being kept busy at the last stand. Well, that's what you get for being the only good restaurant on the entire island. Welcome. What will you be having today? Oh, it's you. As it happens, Melissae also came by recently. Busy as she is, she wanted to let me know that she's patched things up with her father. Truly happy for her. But speaking of busy, we're quite short on hands this shift. As much as I'd hate to bother you, could you deliver an order for me? It's a pair of salad sandwiches for an elderly gentleman at Elk's Landing. He's a Lalafell with a distinguished air, so you can't miss him. My thanks in advance.
Order up!
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a bit of a quandary soon of glams for the next 2 years. I might have to do a little essay and throw them up to a vote to see what people think. Because, unfortunately, it's not like I could just shove it all in my glamour chest, because my glamour chest is full.
Yeah. Mine is not, but it is slowly getting there. I think a third of it is flowers.
Yeah, for you, it's lots of flowers. No, even more flowers than that. Hello, Mr. Lalafell. We have an order for you.
You're one of the Scions, are you not? Rylea, Thayrin, I believe. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Now, what might I do for you? Salad sandwich. Lovingly made at the last stand, this sandwich is fairly bursting with the freshest seasonal vegetables. Oof. Sandwiches. How very kind of you to bring them. The last stand serves up many scrumptious dishes, but their sandwiches have always been my favorite. My son, meanwhile, was partial to the pretzels. When I was young, I attended the studium. Louisoix was a classmate of mine, kindred spirit in the study of magic, and we inspired each other to greater heights. After I completed my studies, I continued conducting research and eventually became a professor. I married and had a family, settled down. Such a life wasn't for Louisoix, who was on the road more often than not. My son grew to admire him, and went to become his pupil and earn his Archon's mark.
Oh. Oh my.
See him set forth to fight for Eorzea beside Louisoix filled me with pride. And so too did I worry as any parent would. And he gave his life for his cause, so strongly did he believe in it. And having now seen his comrades fighting tirelessly to protect our star, I've come to understand whence came his conviction. But listen to me blathering on. I know you're a busy woman, so I shall let you go. Thank you. Not only for the sandwich, but also for standing with my son to the last. Yeah.
Damn it, I need a tissue. Oh. Papa Limo didn't get nearly enough credit.
No.
No, he didn't.
Sorry. Yeah, I know. House Leviar Servant.
Leveler Philanthropy. House Leveler Servant is working to beautify the city. One flower at a time. My lady Rylea? My lord Thayrin? What
No,
good fortune that...
I would not complain if you called me my lady Thayrin. That works too. My trap card is in good standing.
Not in that outfit.
Yeah, well.
What good fortune that you should grace us now. We're planting flowers, if you would perchance care to join us. Is this really a good season to be doing this in, while it's snowing?
Yeah, well.
It is part of Lady Amalance's efforts to beautify our fair city, you see, which in turn is part of her wider civic contributions. Were you to help with a plant or two, my mistress would surely be delighted.
Yeah, I think I need to plant a flower after that.
You'd be glad to assist? Marvelous, marvelous. Though the world has become an uncertain place, it is in such times that most of all that people have need of cheer. Would you not agree? With that settled, permit me to furnish you with some bulbs. As you go about planting them, you may notice other helpers here and there. Do feel free to have a chat with them. You don't say.
I think he did say.
Well, I can't talk with her.
No, she's not the very chatty kind. At this rate, all the flowers will wilt before the customer picks them up.
Oh dear.
Parlor maid? Wait, you're them! Yes. I can't wait for the flowers to bloom. By the way, Sky says goodnight, Tay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good night.
Beg your pardon, but you're Thayrin Vexna and Rylea Sarnath, yes? I've heard all about you two. Saying that we're all family, Lady Amaranth shares the contents of her children's letters, you see. And how they write about you two. They never had the pleasure before, but this feels like meeting an old friend. Not only to meet you at last, but to have you plant flowers beside us. It's truly an honor. On behalf of the fellow servants, allow me to thank you for being such a great friend to Master Alphino and Mistress Alice. Stocky student and petite student.
Fair enough. I know you.
Planting flowers for Lady Amulet's too, are you? Yes, yes we are. Yes, it's all the feels.
You're one of the Signs of the Seventh Dawn, are you not? I've seen you at the Baldesion Annex.
Well now, that a great honor it is to meet you. We're the students at the studium, you see, and the Levier twins were our seniors. And despite being years younger than us, than everyone, to be made at the tender age of 11, they're prodigies of the rarest sort. Oh, wait until you meet the two new students coming in.
Boy.
One's kind of fuzzy.
Yeah. And extra short. Their graduation theses and deeds in the world are an inspiration to us all, and to meet one of their legendary comrades in the flesh, moving beyond words.
Well, it's nice to know that you're not groveling over me because I'm the Warrior of Light. You're groveling over me because I'm friends with Alphino, and I'll say, I'll accept this.
Remember, they're the best things to ever happen to us.
We often hear tales about the Scions. Like your fellows, we hope to leave this little island one day and do great things.
When that day comes, perhaps we'll see you again, somewhere out there.
That would be good.
As we go trampling over the flowers.
Kind of didn't have a choice there.
No.
The Papalymo thing. That just hit me out of the blue.
Yeah. Finished planting the bulbs. Wonderful. In time, they will grow into beautiful Nymea lilies, a symbol of safe travels. Upon learning of this in her children's letters, Lady Amelance took to planting the lilies in the hope that no harm would befall them and their beloved comrades. We humble servants share in that hope. Wherever your path may take you, know that you are ever in our thoughts.
Oof. And back to the last stand.
Mm-hmm.
Probably log there for the evening?
Yeah. Might as well log someplace where there's good food.
I think that's a capital idea. I've got a feeling if we don't succeed, we have a lot of Archon loaf in our future.
Now there's a threat to make sure the world doesn't end.
You set us up, didn't you, Dickon?
You're back. Did you have a chat with the customer?
Yes, I did.
Wonderful. The gentleman's a regular of ours, you see. When he heard that the Scions had come to Charlian, he was beside himself with excitement. He dearly wanted to meet you, but wasn't sure how to go about it. So when you appeared when you did, well, I thought I'd make it happen. I appreciate you going along with it.
Yeah, you totally set us up.
By way of thanks, here's a little something on the house. Enjoy.
Oh, look!
Philosopher's sandwich. Perfectly nutritionally balanced, this handheld dish is a busy Charlian researcher's best friend.
You do realize that's made with Archon loaf. You have totally set us up again, Dickon!
Why do we come here again? Oh, right, it's the only decent place worth eating here.
Yes. This looks like a good enough place to sit down and kick our heels back. Oh boy. I've got a feeling we're right on the cusp of the 89 dungeon.
You are.
Well, let's see here.
That's pretty much literally what you're about to go do.
Question. How
the
far...
quest is still 88.
Yeah. How close is your bar to 94 Bard?
Remember, I just turned 89 tonight.
Because I'm wondering if this is the point we need to break and go do our class quests.
But I like I said, I just hit 89 tonight, so it has not hit
90.
The beginning of the HP bar.
In
fact, you can go take a look at where it is.
Give me a second here. Switching views. Yeah, 1 or 2 runs through the end dungeon should do you. That should be a whole mess of HP.
Really?
For the 89 dungeon, yeah. I'm just thinking, where is best in story that we can go and do that, but I don't know if we need to be 90 or close to 90 to make that work. Well, it's something we'll think about tomorrow. I'll definitely have Dancer up to 89 by then.
Some people.
I'm trying to clear out some space, so I'm trying to compact classes so that they wear the same gear for the moment. It won't last, but there's a vain hope.
Especially once you start getting the 89 gear.
Hush.
Yeah, boy.
In any case, thank you all for joining us this evening. We hope to be back probably about 5, maybe 6-ish. It'll be a little later than it was today, simply because I need to go out and match shopping for my computer desk. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining us. We actually really do enjoy the company.
Oh, yes.
You guys have a great night. Sleep well. Be well. Hope to see you tomorrow, starting at about 5-ish, 6-ish Pacific.
Everyone have a great night.
Not everyone.